Hello, Board of Advisors. Your leadership team is here. Matt, Mike, and Kevin, we are in the studio. We're here for you today, just like we're always here for you. And one of the things we've been talking about, especially in this climate of fear and in the chaos that's going on, a lot of people, they might see opportunities, right? They might be, being reached out by people they haven't talked to in a long time, seeing opportunities, seeing possible strategic partnerships, but they're a little bit afraid to take that step because they're afraid of failing. Right? They're afraid of failing. And we all know as entrepreneurs that a failure is not a bad thing. It is just a step in the process to learning what works, right? But I know, Kevin, you and I have talked a lot, and Mike, you and I were talking about this too. You've launched so many products. Did every single one of them work, and was it a raving success?
No, I mean, I've failed many more times than I've succeeded. Yeah. In fact, I failed 2 out of 3 times when I launch a product. And so Winston Churchill said it best, I think. He says, success is being able to go from failure to failure without the loss of enthusiasm. Okay, so I say, how do you get enthused about failing? Well, for me, I take what I've learned from each one of those failures and applied it to the next launch that we do. So, I mean, it's important that when you fail, I say fail fast and fail cheap. And meaning, if I can have a budget of, I used to put $250,000 into a project, and we would have to spend $250,000 to know whether it was going to succeed or not. So if I'm failing 2 out of 3 times, it's costing me $750,000 to get a success. We've now changed our model. We now are putting more like $25,000 to $50,000 into a launch, and so we're failing quicker and cheaper than we were before. Yeah. And just the other day, I was talking to somebody that we're mentoring that had gone out and tested something, and their test media budget was $25,000. They blew the $25,000, only brought in $5,000 in total sales. Yeah. Now, they would have found out on $5,000 that they only brought in probably $1,000 in sales. That last 20, they didn't need to spend. It was a waste of money. Right. So, don't be afraid to test. Don't be afraid to fail, but do it quicker, do it cheaper. Don't go blow the budget on one deal.
Fail forward fast.
Right.
Well, and I think it was John Maxwell that said fail forward, right? So every failure is actually a step forward. And that's not what we're taught in our world, right? School teaches us that an F, you have failed. Right? You failed the test, you didn't do it right. Well, no, I didn't fail the test. I just found out that these are the answers that didn't work on that test, I put in C, I should have bubbled in B or whatever, right? But failing forward really is the key to that. So
well, what's the little vacuum cleaner that the little robot that goes around and vacuums the
Roomba.
Yeah. So Roomba, its entire mission is to vacuum the house or the office or whatever it may be through failure. Because all it does is bounce off the wall and recalibrate until the entire place is clean. Right?
Yeah.
So failure is not bad. What failure does is it gives you, like you said, more experience. Exactly. Then you can recalibrate and make another better decision. Here's the secret or the magic. You don't have to fail at all. If we look at the collective failures across all the BA members, we have enough failures to make any decision that we need to make right the first time. So this is really going back to like what we were talking about, asking the right questions, right? Identifying an opportunity, a challenge, or a problem, ask the right questions, and let's see who have failed in something similar so that you can make the right decision without having to learn that. There's no reason that you need to learn something that somebody else has already learned. That's why you're here. Leverage the network, communicate, raise your hand, poke somebody on Facebook. We are here, the doors are open, our ears and eyes are wide open, and failure, we might be one of the greatest networks with the biggest reservoir of failures because we're entrepreneurs. This is what we do. You said 2 out of 3 failed.
Right.
You know what that says to me? This guy knows a lot. I should ask him everything. So let us encourage you. We collectively have more failures so that we can actually help you make better decisions.
I have a story on that note. So I think we've talked about P90X here today. Carl Deichler, who launched P90X and Beachbody, when they first launched the P90X, it was a failure. It didn't work. And he didn't give up, though. And this is the message that I want to leave with everybody here is that, yes, Ultimately, if you fail, you got to dust yourself off and go up with enthusiasm. But he kept going. He tried a second tweak, a third, getting good advice and information from advisors around him. The 17th version of P90X finally busted loose, and that became hundreds of millions of dollars of success. So for those that are out there that are in the midst of a failure, maybe the advisors that can come to the team here to help you can give you some good advice on maybe a tweak or a turn or a pivot as you're checking that, whatever it might be. So, and I'm not just talking products, I'm talking about business in general. There's points that maybe some advice from the board of advisors can help them make that pivot to make it successful.
And I would say the only real failure right now for us as board of advisor members is not reaching out to your fellow members and communicating what you need. Right? You have the people that you need. Mike has built the team around you that you need. So I would say the only real failure right now for you is not taking advantage of the team that's been built around you. So I'm excited to be a part of it. Guys, we're glad you're here. We are here for you nonstop, all the time. You reach out to us anytime. We're here to help you get through those problems, get through those failures, and thrive with everything that's going on right now, right?
Amen.
All right. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.